Now, new figures out today show that the West Midlands has one of the worst shop vacancy rates in the country. As well as shops standing empty, fewer people made their way to town and city centres to do their shopping.
Well, the fight's on now to get shoppers out spending money and to get retail centres bustling again. Lee Comley's been to Wolverhampton to see how they're tackling the problem.
It's an issue facing many of our region's streets. Empty shops and fewer shoppers. Nearly 13% of retail space in the West Midlands now stands vacant. In Wolverhampton, that figure's at 23%. Across the country, the number of people hitting the high street has also dropped by 2% compared to last year.
The sun and the warm weather have brought shoppers out into Wolverhampton city centre, but just a few streets away here on Victoria Street, plenty of boarded up shops, and it's one of the main routes into the city centre, and this view is a first impression that the council are hoping to change.
Replacing the old with the new. Demolition as part of a project to draw people into the city centre.
Behind us you can see some of the early works we're doing. This was the site of the former Fox Hotel, which was a real eyesore at this gateway to the city centre, and we're now in discussion with a new developer to bring a new hotel to this part of the city.
Plans to redevelop the centre by the previous council saw retailers facing compulsory purchase orders, so when leases ended they had to move. But then the council's plans fell through and those left behind were surrounded by empty shops.
Times are hard. I mean, times are hard everywhere in the high street. We've suffered from the compulsory purchase order that was put on, and we had that for 6 years. But then the council have addressed that in the form of a grant for refurbishment.
But now 2 large supermarkets have received planning permission. These will be built on opposite sides of the city centre. In between those, they're looking to get retailers back into the empty units.
We as businesses want a vibrant, lively city centre. We need it accessible. We need it to have easy car parking charges, lower car parking charges. So we'd support those actions that the council are taking, because that's very much in line with the business agenda that we're seeking to push.
For now, the figures in the West Midlands make grim reading, as fewer of us venture out with less to spend in fewer shops. But here in Wolverhampton and in other towns and cities, the high street is fighting back. It just might take a few years for us to see if that fight actually works. Lee Comley in Wolverhampton for Central Tonight.
Well, we've been asking whether you've changed your shopping habits recently due to the demise of some high streets. Now, lots of you have been getting in touch on our Facebook and Twitter sites. For instance, we've got Tracy Wilson here. She says the internet is cheaper and less stressful and things can be delivered to your home.
Yes, Chris Morris says massive all-in-one shopping centres are taking business away from cities and the town centres.
Karen Holdsworth says, I only go when I need to get something for special occasions or stocking up on holiday clothes. I tend to grab bits from the supermarket if I see something nice.
And Darren Phillips says the cost of parking plays a big factor for me. Your views continue online, but for now, thank you to everyone who got in touch.